Yes, my beautiful people, what is going on? It's creamslice. Welcome back. Before we get into the video, I just want to wish you all in abundance, health and happiness going into 2024. Hope all your dreams come true, whatever it is that you are doing. Don't give up, keep pushing. If you've got to grind, you've got to grind. Let's get it in 2024. With that being said, it is only right that we drop you with an absolute banger before the new year starts. We're going to be using one of the most prolific exotics in the game this season and one of the most dangerous warlock exotic pieces of armor. We're going to be combining these exotics with Strand. We are going to be getting benefits from the artifact. We're going to become radiant. We have Scorch. We have increased damage to debuff targets by Strand. It's all just built into an absolute power fantasy. To me, is one of the best endgame warlock builds you will see this season. So the gameplay you're seeing, I locked myself at 18-10 purposely and took this build into a master loss sector just to test it out, just so you can get a clear indication on how well this build performs solo and in a team-based setting. So we'll get into it. So guys, there will be a dim link below as always to the build, and we are going to go over the customization part of the build midway through the video, so stick around for that. So learning how to use this build and how to utilize the artifact to our advantage is the first part. Kindling trigger is a must. Radiant causes solar weapons to apply Scorch. With us running the Polaris lance, we can now add Scorch. As you can see, we're running the Dawn Chorus, which adds an extra 200% damage to your Scorch and in turn feeding our melee energy. So we've got some good synergy there already. We add Flint Striker into the mix. I'm sure you guys would have seen all over YouTube that while Radiant, we can constantly stun barrier champions when we are Radiant with getting precision hits. The cherry on top for me was the Artifact Torch. With us running a stasis weapon and a solar weapon, and with our subclass being Strand, we can benefit from Torch. When we are Radiant, we deal increased damage to enemies affected by Strand and Stasis. So if we take a look at the exotic armor piece that we have chosen to run with this, we have to use the Dawn Chorus. A lot of people will jump at me. It doesn't increase the ignition damage and all that. No, we are just benefiting from Scorch. Over time, scorching enemies will cause ignitions regardless. All this does is it adds an extra 200% to our Scorch. So when we have Kindling Trigger with Polaris Lance, our Scorch is going to deal massive damage leading to ignitions. But not only that, we have Rites of Ember. So when we are scorching our enemies, it's going to give us melee energy back, which we want because we need a nice generator for our threaded needle, which is going to debuff and unravel our enemies. So the number one scout rifle this season is the Polaris Lance. You would have seen it all over YouTube. Every man and their dog is using it, and there's a reason why. The perfect fifth is the intrinsic perk. Precision hits return ammo to the mag. Landing 4 precision hits loads a delayed solar explosive round, which you can constantly proc over and over as long as you are hitting the crits. With that, we're going to become Radiant, which allows us to deal with the barrier champions as well. And with Kindling Trigger, we're going to cause ignitions as well because we're going to add Scorch to it. So where Dawn Chorus and Polaris Lance come together is the damage of the Scorch, people. Just keep that in mind. That's what we are going for here. We can cause ignitions with Strand debuffs, unravel ignitions everywhere. The aspect we are using is Mind Spun Invocation. We consume our Shackle Grenade, we enter Weaver's Trance. Every time we create a final blow, we create a suspending detonation, which then you proceed to hit them with Polaris Lance, Scorch, you get Unravel, you get ignitions everywhere. Then we've got the Wanderer. With us using Arcane Needle, you're going to throw one of them in. Every enemy that you defeat that is touched by Unravel will create a tangle for us. Destroy that tangle, it's going to create a suspending burst, giving us extra damage and more Unravel. It's really important that we run Thread of Warding. Picking up an Overpower grants us Woven Mail. This is going to be our damage reduction. We're running Thread of Generation, dealing damage gives us grenade energy back for the shackle and the mind spun. So we're taking thread of isolation. With Polaris lance being a precision hit weapon, we're going to be causing ignitions with scorch, and we're going to be causing massive solar explosions with a perfect fifth. Not only that, we are going to be severing our enemies with unravel. Severed targets unwind into targets when they are defeated as well. This is going to disorientate our enemies, lowering their damage output. And then we're taking thread of continuity. Our suspend, unravel and sever effects all have increased duration. So here I'm just going to explain the synergy, how everything works with the mods and the weapon loadout and the stat distribution as well. So another debuff here is the Riptide with chill clip. This is going to stun unstoppable champions as well, but not only that, we can benefit from the artifact with the perk torch, which is going to give us that nice debuff with our solar weapons because we have chill clip. When it comes to the heavy weapon, it's going to be your preference, personal preference. It doesn't really matter. You can use a rocket launcher. That way we have all 3 champions covered because you have overload rocket this season. We can stun unstoppables and barrier champions with this weapon. When it comes to stat distribution, I try to just get my strength up, my grenade up, my recovery and resilience. These seem to work fine, so just get them in the 8s. You will be absolutely fine with 40 strength because Dawn Chorus is going to feed us that extra ability energy for our melee. So on the Dawn Chorus we have solar and stasis siphon to create orbs of power. On the gauntlets we have momentum transfer, impact induction and bolstering detonation. So these are definitely going to work. Causing damage with a grenade reduces our melee cooldown. Shackle grenades and mind spun benefit from this as well. We have impact induction, causing damage with a powered melee reduces our grenade cooldown. So we're constantly going to have the arcane needle up all the time to debuff our enemies. Bolstering detonation grants us class ability energy when we do damage with a grenade. On the chest piece, I just chose to run concussive dampener since one of my fellow YouTuber families made it important that we run it, and I never take it off now, Philip, I promise. It is so good, so good. And then we add avoid resistance from the activity. On the boots, we are running 2 solar weapon surges. This is going to give us a 17% damage increase when we pick up an orb of power with Polaris lance. We can also get armor charges through destroying strand tangles with mind spun to give us armor charges as well. If you don't want to run 2 of them, maybe run some healing on orb pickups or absolution for ability cooldowns if you wish. Then on the bond we add Reaper. Every time we throw down our rift we get a weapon kill. We create orbs of power that way, and I ran double outreach, so when we throw down our rift we're getting that increased melee ability regen as well. So that is going to do it for the actual build, guys, and it's going to do you even more justice if you plan on running any endgame solo content because you have that solo operative perk. Go try this build out, guys. Let me know what you think. Happy New Year. I'm creamslice. Thank you for watching. Peace.